Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the XGain podcast series. I'm Ep.6 from Reino, the partner responsible for maximizing the impact of XGain. XGain is a research project that aims to bridge the digital divide between urban and rural areas by facilitating access to last-mile connectivity solutions. In today's episode, we are honored to have Simonas Audickas. Simonas is a technical lead at Art21, and today we will have a very insightful conversation regarding forest management. Hello Simonas, and thank you for being with us today.
Pleasure to be here.
So let's begin by exploring your role in the project. How do you contribute in XGain?
I will start with mentioning that Art21 is a private entity company who is accredited to provide guidance to farmers and to public institutions on technology development in agricultural and food industries. And we are kind of leading in the sectors on technology provision, and as a technical lead, I'm having a team which we work on the technology which is meant for agri sector, and in this case the forest of Lithuania. So my role is like I'm partly tech lead of implementing the solution, and recently I was assigned as a project manager to lead on social and environmental and economical impacts of to measure the impact of our technology and how it can be implemented in Lithuania and cross countries.
So as a use case leader, can you share a bit more information about the use case that you lead and the main goals?
Sure. Our technology involves drones, 5G as a network, and we kind of implementing the whole technology advancements in the rural areas, mainly focusing on forest management in Lithuania. The specifics are that we mount the computer, the 5G router on a drone, and we have a specific camera which captures a lot of information, and we fly over the forests of Lithuania. So in this non-very specific technical view, so it looks like that we fly a drone over the forest and we collect data and for analysis and in this case for fire prevention purposes.
So you described the technologies that you use, that there are quite a few. How do new technologies support sustainable forest management?
The idea is that this hyperspectral camera that we attach to the drone, we collect the data which is quite heavy. So to say that we collect up to 30-50 gigabytes of data, which is sent via 5G network to the remote server, and which is transformed and analyzed, and then the artificial intelligence lets us assign the specific areas in the forest which are prone to higher risk to catch fire, and then we kind of determine which are the locations, and together with the forest rangers we can work together saying that these areas in the forest has to be tackled and they need to clear them up or to do preventive measures that the fire wouldn't start in a certain location.
Yeah, so we see that the forest observation is quite crucial. Why do you believe it is so important, especially when we're talking about fire prevention?
Well, of course, we all know that forests are quite important material to not only to Lithuania but globally. And biodiversity is quite extensive in the forest environments, and the damage caused by fire is quite costly, and the preventive measures actually would allow to safeguard the forest, and the technology advancements to the rural communities would be beneficial, not only like to save the forest, but also to cut the cost of damage around their community. So we think that is beneficial to manage prior to then just deal with the damages caused by the fire.
Yeah, that's true. One of the main tools that you have in this use case is the drones.
Yes.
And drones are a promising tool for a lot of sectors and uses. However, we know that they have some challenges.
Yes.
What difficulties have you faced when using a drone, specifically in forest management?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as we talk about the drones, there are few types of them, right? So this is like fixed wing drones that look like a small plane, and they do need some space to be lifted off. The same is with our used drones, which are bigger than a small drone that for the personal uses. So we use a drone which is about 2 meters in wide, and it's quite difficult to lift it in the air while you're in the forest. So you have to find the places that are like more clear for the drone to be lift up in the air. And usually it's not where you actually want it to be lifted off. So the drone has to be kind of lifted off some place and fly a few kilometers to actually start the mission and investigation. So usually the main challenge of the drone is that it's battery life. So everything goes into there. So once you mount additional equipment onto the drone, so it kind of uses electricity from the battery, and this is what we've been investigating in our technology here, that to use other devices that are attached to the drone, which would not use a lot of energy and would be not heavy to be lifted off by the drone. So basically that we come down to the battery life and the mission's time, which is dependent on how long the drone can be in the air. So, and the longer the drone is in the air, the bigger territory we can cover. So basically it comes down to this technology advancements.
Mm-hmm. Considering that you collect a big amount of data, why high-speed internet such as 5G is so important?
Okay, so 5G, what we discovered, so it's really fast band internet, and we have worked to actually investigated several providers of 5G network. And as we know, so with the fire prevention and with the lost animals or lost people in the forest, we need the information here and now. Right, once we collect the data that big of 50 gigabytes, so it takes a lot of time to transfer it from the place to the remote servers, and 5G is kind of the only option to get the data very fast and to get it transformed and the actual results to be as soon as possible, to prevent further spread of fire, and that would be investigated and so on. So I mean 5G is now kind of on the wave that it can be employed, and it actually affects the rural communities allowing them to get the results faster and to be connected to good technology advancements.
It seems that you have made some progress with the technology and with this use case. Can you share any initial results or findings from this use case?
Mm-hmm. So by the summer, so we've been working on the technology in the laboratory to check the speeds of the internet and how the technology actually drains the drone battery. And recently we started doing the field trials in the forest, and what we discovered that the design of the whole technology works as expected. The drone battery is not drained drastically, that we can work on the missions of up to 30 minutes, and the drone can cover up to 80 hectares in the territory. And what we further on had the meeting with the forest rangers to discuss the assessment or the impact on their work, and we discovered that they do the scan of the certain forest areas every 10 years. So it takes about 10 years for the forest ranger to go into the forest and actually what they call taxation, to do the taxation of the ground, the fallen trees, and so they do all this, and every 10 years they cover a certain territory and do it in that sense. So we say that 100 hectares we can cover in half an hour. So we can cover much bigger areas in a week, what they do in 10 years. So we just say that our technology actually do it much faster with a bigger accuracy, and we collect the data which can be stored and analyzed in the future. And this actually exceeds the human power, what they actually employ now to go into the forest and do everything manually. And I'm not sure, but I think that, I haven't heard that they collect the visual data like photos, videos, and we would have a lot of data collected in fractions of the second what they do in 10 years. Yeah.
So looking ahead, how do you see the future of forest management in Europe, and how does XGain contribute to this?
The prevention of forest fires is very important, as we discussed, and this is important for forest management, and to prevent fires is kind of a highly important task for us and for the forest rangers. And what we do is with our camera and employing artificial intelligence, we discover the areas that need to be cleared and which is more fire hazard risk in the forest, and we can depict the coordinates, the areas, and the size of work need to be done in the forest to prevent future fires. And XGain's advantage is that with the knowledge facilitation tool allows to pick up the right technology in the sector, and it suggests the solutions to the common people, what they can choose and use in their daily life, and to proceed with the operations. And we think that the tool would be cross countries in Europe, so that anyone in Greece, Spain, Italy, where the fire hazard risk is much higher than Lithuania, would actually discover our technology easier and would employ it in their daily life for forest fire prevention and maybe other tasks that can employ drones and other types of the cameras. And so basically the whole future of our technology, I believe that our children will live with a safer forest and with less fire risk to be caused once you have preventive measures implemented in safeguarding the area, the territory, and the community living around the rural areas next to the forest. And we will save a lot of biodiversity. that lives next to the humans in the forest area, and the damage will be minimized to the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. So we see that you have a very important mission here.
I hope so. Yeah.
Let's hope that this kind of technologies will be implemented from more countries in the future, especially when we're talking about fire prevention.
Mm-hmm.
We really look forward to see the positive impact of this use case and XGain in the future. Thank you for being with us today and for providing us so many insights about this use case.
Thank you for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to develop the technology that we see some future and development that would be used in other countries, and the communities would be safer.
Yeah. Also, thank you all for being with us today in another episode of the XGain podcast series. Till the next time, don't forget to follow us on social media and visit our website. Together, we can turn the digital divide into a digital bridge. Stay tuned.